So to recap, this is what our game should look like at the moment. We've got the plane movement, shooting, and seems to be working. The planes kind of rotate around. We do need to fix up that island. And that's actually really, really loud. So I'll turn that down. So that's what we're up to at the moment. Now we want to get the health and lives working. So that's this PDF here. Then we want to get the, so let's pop that back there. Then we want to get the enemies working a little bit better. Have some kind of enemy spawner that's going to control the enemies and increase the difficulty over time. And then the last one is just fine-tuning the gameplay. And this is more of a challenge for you. I'm going to go through the tasks and explain how they could be done, but not actually what to do. And that'll be your task to complete that. So let's get the health and lives happening. So we're going to create 2 more sprites. This one's going to be called Sprite HUD, SPR HUD. We're going to load sprite, and it's going to be this one here, the bottom.png. We don't want to center this. We just want to leave it and click OK. And we want to make another one, SPR, and this one's going to be called Life. And we're going to load that sprite, and we're going to look for the Life sprite. There it is. It's a little tiny plane icon. And we won't center that one either. It's going to be easier for us to position it if we don't center these. So let's just click OK. We've got our other explosion. No, we haven't actually brought that one in. So let's create that one as well. And we're going to SPR plane player explosion. And load sprite. Load that other round, larger explosion that we saw before. This one here. And we will center that one. All right. I'll just double check that my plane is centered. Okay, that's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an object. We'll create the explosion first. So object player explode or explosion. It's going to have that player explosion. Pretty similar to the other one. We're going to destroy, sorry, not destroy, add event. And the event's going to be animation end. I'll delete that. Animation end, and on animation end we will destroy self. Now I'm using the studio version of GameMaker, which has removed a function that used to be in GameMaker called sleep. So I can't actually put that function in. But one of your options here should be sleep, which means kind of wait for a second. I also don't seem to have a high score chart. Oh no, there's my high score chart. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. Once the animation ends, destroy the instance, and we'll destroy the instance. We'll set an alarm instead of sleeping. We'll set an alarm to we want it to be 2 seconds maybe. Oh no, 1 second. So we'll set an alarm to 30. I'm doing this because I can't actually put the sleep event in. It's going to work out better this way, I think. Otherwise the room pauses. So you've got the option. You can set sleep to 1000 like it does in the book, or you can set an alarm to 30 and then add an event, alarm 0. When that alarm goes off, we're going to create my plane. Create my plane 0 0 relative. Okay, so when that alarm goes off, this instance is destroyed. Animation end, and then we'll put, hold on a sec, that's in the wrong place. Goes there. Okay, so when the animation ends, it's not going to loop, hopefully. We might have to play around with this, and we'll see what happens. But I'm trying to fix it up because this version of GameMaker doesn't have the same settings. And I want to set the lives as well. So when the animation ends here, I want to set the lives to -1, which should be score, -1 relative. Okay, so there's our object explosion. So what's going to happen, right, is the plane's going to be hit with a bullet from the enemy, or when it gets down to 0 health, it's going to destroy the plane, and it's going to create one of these in its place, and that's going to run through that animation. When that animation ends, it's going to set an alarm to 30, and when that alarm goes off, it's going to destroy this instance, create another plane. Make sure I actually select the plane, and set the lives relative to -1. Now we're going to create some controllers. Object controller life. We're not going to have a sprite associated with this. We don't want to see it. It's just going to sit in the background and control different things in our game. So when it's created, we're going to set the score to 0. We're going to set the lives to 3, and the health is going to be set to 100. Okay, so we've got score set to 0, lives set to 3, health set to 100, and let's see, there should be an option here to set a caption, score caption with settings, but it looks like that may be an option that I don't have either. You just have to give me a sec to look through here. Some things have changed. This version of GameMaker is a lot better, but there's a few things that that differ. So that's another one. I don't seem to have the option to, unless they're hidden down low. Nope. I don't have the option to score caption with settings. I'm not going to worry about that anyway. Event, other, no more lives. So what happens when we run out of no more lives? We're going to show the high score thing. That's game over. And this is the high score one here. Clear the high score table. No. We want to show the high score table. I'll just pause it while I find where that's gone. Unfortunately, the high score version doesn't seem to exist in the Steam version of GameMaker. It may be the studio version, it may just be the Steam version. Regardless, we're just going to make it restart the game here. So what I'm going to do is restart game. So when we run out of lives, we restart the game. That's not ideal, but that will work for now. And then add event, other, when we run out of health, what we're going to do is, let's go back to here, set the health to 100. So we set it back to 100. We're going to play a sound. That's going to be explosion 2. Only once. And we're going to change this instance into an explosion. And that should work. Now, we need to go into the events and the draw events for this one. The draw event, and we're going to draw. In here, we're going to go down to the draw side of things, and we're going to draw sprite. Oops. Draw sprite. The sprite we're going to draw is the HUD, and we're going to draw it at position 0 and 404. Subimage is going to be -1. So this is not relative. This is the absolute position on the screen. I may find that I need to resize my room, especially if it's too big. Then we're going to set the color. Okay, I'm going to set the color. I'm going to set the color to yellow and click OK. And I'm going to draw the score. So that's under score. This one here is draw score. I'm going to draw the score, and the value for this is 180 for 40. Caption score. And then I'm going to draw the health, which is this one here. What's the difference between these two? That's draw health. That's score caption. Oh, that's the score caption there, which I'm not going to worry about that. Draw health. The X is going to be 12. So this is the top left corner of the box, and the Y is going to be 449. And the bottom right corner of the box, 138, 459. Now these aren't just guesses. These have been found out through trialing. So Mr. Greenfield found these out through trialing different values to find out where this is going to go in the grand scheme of things. Now that's going to be fine. I'll show you where it's going to go. In this sprite, it's going to fill this bar here, and it's going to get lower and lower and lower. So we're drawing a rectangle there. Lastly, I'll delete that and that. That should be right. Lastly, I want to draw the lives as an image. And the X and Y value for this, 16, 410. And the sprite is this one here. Okay, now I just have to put this object in the room. Objects, object controller life, put that somewhere. It doesn't matter where it goes. I don't want to delete those planes that are outside. And I'm going to click the tick and run it. Now down the bottom I should get, you see this is where things get a little bit silly. My room is actually bigger than what I've allowed for. But let's just test to see if this works. So the health is going down. I get hit by a plane, it goes down quite a lot. It should get down to 0. And it destroyed itself. Why did it destroy itself? Let's go into object controller life. No more health. Oh, change instance. Here's where things can get a little bit tricky. It's one of the reasons I prefer to use code. I don't want to change myself into an explosion. I want to change object, my plane, into an explosion. And then I'll go back to here. We'll try it again. Just trying to crash into every plane I can. And then I don't seem to come back. Why would that be? Probably because I told this, no more health, to change it into the wrong explosion. Object player explosion instead. I'll just crash. Well, that explosion is looping a whole lot and not turning back into the plane. So there is a bug there. We'll figure that out shortly because we will just finish up the last few bits. We'll go to object, my plane. And in here, we're going to make a floating health bar that is linked to the plane. This isn't a necessary step, but it looks pretty cool. So we're going to go down to add event, draw event, draw. And on here, we're going to draw self. So that's going to draw itself. The old way of doing this was you had to draw the sprite. I'm pretty sure that this here will draw the sprite in position. You don't need to set anything else. And we are going to draw a health bar above it. So we're going to go score, draw health. And the values here are negative 20, 30, 20, 35. Back color will be red. And front color will be, bar color will be green or lime or something like that. And make sure to tick the relative box, or else this, because we've set the X1 to negative 20, the bar will start right up the top in the left hand corner. Now before I do anything else, I want to go into my room and I'm going to change my settings to 640 by 480. I'm going to move my plane up here a little bit and I'm going to click no to that and hit play. And so now I've got that down the bottom in the right place. I can fly into it, so I want to change that. I don't want to be able to fly into it, but you can see I've got a health bar below my plane that also updates with those things. Now I have a feeling that the reason it didn't work before was because this is set to not. We want to perform events yes. So let's just test that now. So when it turns into that explosion, it's going to perform the events on that explosion. That's acting a bit weird. Let's have a look at what the explosion's doing. When animation end, oh, okay, here, I know what the problem is. When animation end, I'm going to change the sprite to no sprite. I don't know if that will work. I'm just trialing a few things here now to see if I can get it to work, because I can't actually do what is in the booklet. Game Maker Studios changed a few things, mostly for the better. So that gives me an error. So I do need to change it into a sprite. The sprite I'm going to change it into is going to be, I'm going to create a sprite and I'm going to call it sprite empty. I will click OK. There's not actually any sprite on that, so we'll see what happens. Animation end, changed into sprite, sprite empty, subimage -1, speed 0, and we'll try this now. It'll probably give me an error as well because there's no image on that. Let's hope it comes back. No, it's not coming back. Why would it be doing that? That's really weird. I might just do it the simple way and put all these, right click, cut, into here. So originally, if I just go back and have a quick look at it, we had destroy instance of self, sleep 1000 was what we were trying to fix, but it's not in here. So then we're going to create instance of object my plane, and that's going to be relative, and set lives to -1. So let's delete that alarm code and just try this out. It should just blow up, and then when the animation's finished, bring our plane back. It's not ideal because it's blows up and then we come back for another life. So that's working, and that'll have to do for now. Okay, final part. Oh no, that's just part 7. We've still got a bit more. I might stop the video there and make another one afterwards.